Hello, everyone, and welcome to Secure Show. I'm Dr. Walter Sanchez, and I'm really happy to be here and share with you um, chiropractic and success. And as a book that I read is whatever your mind can think and believe, you can achieve. um, actually, on today I call this show is about how do I train, you know, and how do I train for success. So I just want to tell you a little bit about me that I've been in practice since 1983. Okay, so I'm an old timer, I guess, right? And it is important to share this because I can see people coming into my office. And every time it's like with a wow surprise, you know, how simple chiropractic is, and how effective. And most of them, they have had experiences, in what they were thought it was chiropractic, right? So I guess, one of my goals is not to allow for true chiropractic, principal chiropractic to disappear. And it's important, and I mean, you can hear the word chiropractic everywhere, but we have to understand that chiropractic is a way of thinking and it's a way of act. So there's a thought and there's action, and also is is for the goodness of the world. Okay, like right now, with all this thing that goes on, thank God for chiropractic. I really think that, you know, and people, they can choose chiropractic because they don't know what it is. So it's up to us to teach them what it is. Now, what I see is that, chiropractic has a great message to bring to the world, you know, to to make him understand that the virus is not the problem, but the answer is the resistance of the invaders. Okay, so our thought is about how do we make our bodies to resist any, the invaders, right? And from there we can go on. Now, chiropractic is very simple. Okay, but what's going on right now in the schools is that you got to go to school for 4 years and 3 years, so you're getting so much education, that when you get out, you're probably confused. Okay, so I didn't have to go through that. Okay, I was I graduated in 1983, as I said before, from Life College, and the whole objective of when I went to school there, it was we came out of there with the feeling and the understanding that we can change the world, right, with our two hands. That's what Dr. Sid Williams taught us. And if we look back how chiropractic was on the map, you know, if from the old timers, they had so much belief in it. You know, they had a vision. And on the past show, I talked about the vision of the farm, how BJ, envisioned the whole world being on the chiropractic care instead of being on, the amount of drugs and surgery and disease that people have now, right? Because, I mean, that was the vision of the farm, right? And he envisioned that this will happen sometime. And hopefully, but it will be by us, because we work with that principle. So, like back then, he used to say that they were so convinced they have that vision. Their vision was so strong. Like BJ will say, if I have had the chance to adjust Hitler, the history of humanity would have been different. Wow. Could you imagine that? Okay. But yet, you know, in these times right now, with things going on in the whole world, how us chiropractors are thinking is a very important. Okay. And especially is because your thoughts, you know, they create things. Okay. So on the show today is how do we prepare for success? You know, what is success to you? Okay. So I mean, I'm talking about myself. I'm not going to tell you how to do things, but I just want to share, you know, how by being a chiropractor, embracing chiropractic in full faith, you know, my life took a different meaning and I can live my dreams. Okay. So back then in 83, you know, I tell you what motivated me to be a chiropractor is that I fall in love too of Thompson technique, on Taglin technique. Okay. And the thing about Thompson and Taglin is that I saw that I can, you know, that the world was in need of what I can do with my two hands, right? So I was a young chiropractor, and I say, man, you know, by being a chiropractor, using my Thompson tables, you know, and teaching the people, you know, I can have a high volume practice, which is what's always in my mind, you know. I want to be able to touch as many people as I can. My motto was like, it's like to, as an example, is to see a building at about 2 or 3 in the morning when everybody's sleeping and I see fire and I have to go and save them, you know, and I have to go and knock every door to wake them up and tell them, come on, get out, you know, or you're going to be burned, right? So that's the urgency that I had, you know, and some people are going to open the door, some people they're not going to open the door, but it's not up to me for them to open the door. It's up to me to convey them my my belief, right? So what happened? I persuade myself by being at Life College with Dr. Sid, with DE, you know, that that was my life. Okay, so I went out, and now another thing that motivated me big, it was that you know, coming from Peru, you know, I kind of had my mind was a little bit of a scarcity. Okay, it was not an abundance. So I thought that, hey, I'm gonna jump this much and that's it. You know, that's gonna be my life. But you know, by being in chiropractic and studying chiropractic philosophy and studying life and being a DE, you know, I changed my mode of operating. You know, instead of living out of a scarcity, I started living out of abundance and using those principles, right? So my motivation was, hey, I do when I was a kid, I want to drive those beautiful cars, you know, those Porsches, Mercedes, all those beautiful cars, you know. I want to live on the water. I want to have a boat, you know, all those things, you know. And I knew that I can do it by being a chiropractor. The only thing is that, you know, nothing is free, right? So, so here it is, you know, I mean, you know, by being a chiropractor, you know, all these things start materializing. Okay. And by doing chiropractic, nothing but chiropractic, okay, analyzing people's spines, you know, adjusting, teaching chiropractic, raise my energy, raise my vibration, share with them, you know, my journey as a chiropractor. Because yet I was adjusting them, but I was living chiropractic. Okay. And it's that way how, you know, I thank God for innate intelligence is that, you know, everything I can, you know, I was able to bring it out from my innate intelligence to start creating my friend within. Okay. And that's how I had a beautiful family. I have a beautiful wife, a great wife, you know, it's a great life. And the most important thing is that I haven't stopped. You know, it's not that I'm done. You see, it's like it's so wonderful to wake up every morning, you know, and to know, hey, there is something new coming up, you know, and how my innate is going to conduct me, right, to be able to practice chiropractic and or to live chiropractically. you know, from above down, inside out, right? So how, so the training starts for success, in when you go to bed at night and when you wake up. Because, believe it or not, you have to know what is your destination. And your destination is your vision. My destination is my vision. So I brought out BJ's and Sid Williams' vision, which is to the whole world needs chiropractic. So somehow I'm going to talk, I will talk, and or I will check people. Anything is always, I mean, it's chiropractic. There's no fear, no inhibitions, right? Okay, chiropractic is a life without fear, no inhibitions. Why? Because a man and his innate constitute a majority. So I was on fire on that, you know, and uh, and that's how I start seeing the practice grow, right? It's just because I offer them something different. Okay. Why something different? Is because that's what chiropractic offers. So your identity is important. Now, when you train for success in your practice, you have to understand it's like, see, I used to have a boat and we used to go to, another boat. I have another one now. But my first boat, I used to make some trips on a Tuesday or a Thursday that I was off and go to Bimini. And then, like I used to see that I have a compass in front of me and I have a Lowrance back. A Lowrance was a machine that used to supposedly take me to destination. And let me tell you, it wasn't that easy to get on that vast ocean to get to Bimini to the Bahamas. Okay. And and then I would see like swells or currents that they were trying to take me off my destination. Okay, so I learned something. His nature showing me how important it is to stay focused if I want to get to a place, right? So if I want to start, you know, if my goal, my vision is to teach people, about chiropractic, the the value of removing subluxations, you know, the benefits they're gonna have for the rest of your life if they have a chiropractic life, I mean, I have to stay on it. And I have to understand that the world doesn't think that way. The world is trying to, is making you believe right now in what? In the vaccine. Imagine that, right? That's your thing anyway, you know. But I choose to believe in what? In innate intelligence, that it has been for generations and generations, taking care of us, right? And what do? We check subluxations, we adjust them, and we allow the persons to do their best that they can. That's all we can do. Is it huge? It's huge. See, anybody without a subluxation is going to do better in life than with subluxations. Okay, but the key here is that if you went to school and you already learned how to, a technique, you have to master your technique. Okay, if you went to school and they taught you chiropractic philosophy, it's because it is a way of life. Okay, and you have to understand that every morning when you wake up and you're going to go to your office, you're going to have currents, okay, distractions, okay, limited beliefs, or as Dr. Palmer used to call destructive values they can interfere with your being, okay, but you have to identify them, and start replacing them with liberating beliefs, with survival values, okay, that is going to allow you to be a free chiropractor, allowing innate to flow through you and checking people's spines. It's the most wonderful thing, and I love that to do that in my office. But how do you do that? See, to get to that state for me, I cannot do it through force. I cannot force myself to do that. Okay, so if I understand that I cannot force myself, you know, you know, you have to allow love to flow through you. How do you do that? When I wake up in the morning, first thing I do, you know, I make sure that I go into reading the gospel. Okay, and just a short read, you know, and but it's something that it feeds my mind. Just like I have to feed my body, my mind needs to be fed with truth, with liberating truth. So after I do that, you know, I start revising my vessel, which is my body. So I feel my arms, I feel my whole body, I feel my breathing, okay? And once I recheck every part of me, you know, I go into gratitude. Gratitude for me is just to be thankful to live my dream, okay? To be thankful for what's going to happen, okay? And I work on that energy, and I can feel how that energy start working on my vibration, okay? So, and then I get ready in my house, and then when I leave my house, I revise myself and I make sure I know what my destination is. My destination, which is my office in Hialeah, but also my destination, my vision. Okay. So it's nothing more, nothing but, I'm going to speak from above down, inside out, chiropractic. I'm going to feel people. I'm going to be thankful because they're there. You know, I'm going to raise people's consciousness. Okay. I'm not going to persuade them, but I'm going to keep persuading myself about chiropractic. So instead of me being in chiropractic, chiropractic is in me. It's a big thing. Okay. Then I do another check. Once I get to my office, before I walk into my office, I just breathe, bring back keep on the feeling. Look at I already have the destination from my house to my office. Now my other destination is in the office from 7:30 that I start checking people to 6:30. What am I seeing? Okay. And it's nothing but beautiful things. Because what happened is this: when you start putting in your mind thoughts that are good and actions that are good, the results are going to be good. Okay, you cannot plant um, tomatoes and expect mangoes. You see what I mean? Okay, so I start visualizing my day. Okay, and flowing from room to room, that's what happened. Okay, and people happy to be in the office, happy to be around us. They don't even want to leave, right? Okay, and just building a beautiful community, nothing but that. Okay, so that's before I walked into my office. Once I go into my office, I drop everything that I bring. Usually, I do 3 or 4 deep breaths, and then before I go into my first checkup, I I do another checkup in me. Make sure I have not, very important, I check my mind. Make sure I have no indecisions, no doubts, and no fears. Why? Because if I can remove any kind of those thoughts, if they come in, okay, now I'm free to practice. Okay, and I'm free to check, and I'm free to move, and I'm trusting every word coming out of my head, because I did the work. Right? When I break at lunchtime, I do the same thing. Okay, um, I try to watch also what I'm eating. Okay, because what I found is the days that I fast in the office, I'm more productive in every which way. So fasting is great, So I do that too, But it's always working with my innate intelligence because all the answers are there. My friend within. Okay, and my friend within is going to give me whatever I ask them to. So those are key stuff that I do to have the success that I have in my practice. Okay, and and I'm just present. Just be present, be present, be present. Okay. Something that is interesting is this: is that uh, focusing on your destination. You know, this is something that you guys, if you guys want to be free chiropractors, we have to. You got to stop thinking like a medical doctor. Okay, your principle is not outside in; it's inside out. Okay, so you need to go back into that. And the thing is this: is that once you start getting the bad habits into allowing a little bit of that type of thinking, then you're history. Okay, so what I'm saying is this: you have to recognize that you are not the healer, but the person in front of you is the healer. You have to start seeing things different. As you start seeing things different with different eyes, the object that you see is going to start making changes. Believe me, almost 40 years in practice, and that's what I'm seeing. Okay. But it's going to take for every one of you that is watching this show right now, if you want to start improving yourself and using these chiropractic principles, it's going to start, you got to start by working and checking the way you are thinking and acting, because there's a thing about cause and effect. So my word of advice is that, watch your thoughts. Watch what you're bringing into your office every day, right? And look for your destination. See where the destination is, your vision. The whole world, 7 billion people are right now looking for a light. And guess what? We as chiropractors can bring that light. Why? We have a beautiful message, a message that empowers people, a message of a lifestyle that is a live a life without fear, to understand that there is an innate wisdom within everyone, to understand that with our hands we can make adjustments into the flow of that life. So it's totally up to us. And it's totally not just because your name is a chiropractor, but you have to act and you have to think as a chiropractor. If it is to be, it's up to me. If it is to be, it's up to you. And the whole world needs you. So I want to thank ChiroSecure. I want to thank Dr. Stu for giving me the chance to just share with you guys my experience on this wonderful world of chiropractic. Okay. Don't forget, next week, next Tuesday, Dr. Kim is going to be in the program. Tune in and tune in next month when I come back with some more nuggets. I love and appreciate you, and there is nothing that you can do about it. Thank you.